We talked about we over me. So now we're going to shift to what it means to choose growth. Next slide. I remember back in high school, I was in my kitchen, and I went to the kitchen to go pick up a pair of batteries for the remote. The batteries had died, and there was 2 packs of batteries in there. There was one called like power battery, and then there was this Duracell. And I went to go grab the power batteries because I was like, no, at that time I'm young, naive, like power battery, man, this thing's gonna last forever. So I grabbed these things, and my stepdad looks at me and he goes, "What are you doing grabbing those things?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Why don't you grab the Duracell batteries?" I was like, "Because these are power batteries, baby. These are the good ones." And he says, "Okay, I want to talk to you about something real quick. When you think of Duracell, you think of dependability, you think of longevity, and you think of just a reliable product. They are known for reliable product." And in that moment, I realized, okay, that's what it really kind of means. Or it's reflecting on that, I've realized, okay, this is really kind of what it means to have a brand. That when someone thinks, I'm looking at David Nava, they immediately go, I know exactly what I think of when I think of that guy. I think of someone who gives to the community. I think of someone who works relentlessly. I think of someone who is selfless, and I think of someone who actually cares. Those are things, at least that I personally think about, David. And those are things that you've established that brand, that Duracell battery. So my question to you on this next slide is, how do you become a Duracell battery, right? It's like, how do you get to that level? And so we'll go ahead and go to the next slide. This is Clay Hendricks. He was my offensive line coach in college. I had just gotten off a bad leg injury, and I was at my first practice back heading into my senior year. The very first drill, if y'all can imagine how hungry and excited I was to get back on the field after weeks off, to get out there and just play again. Y'all, I was going full tilt, knocking the snot out of people. It was great. And Coach Hendricks, after the very first drill, I teed off on some guy, and Coach Hendricks stops the drill and goes, "Hey, you know what that's called?" "No, coach." He was also from South Carolina, in case you're wondering. "That's called the give a damn factor." It's called the give a damn factor, and you can't teach it. You either have it or you don't. And so if you go to this next slide, that's what this is all about. In order to choose growth, you got to have that give a damn factor. And the 2 variables that I believe make that give a damn factor is motivation and action. If you have the right motivation and the right intentions in line, and you are willing to take the right amount of action, there's your give a damn factor, and you can stand out. I bring that up because when I was studying for my Salesforce exam, I was still teaching at the time. So I was waking up at 4 in the morning, and I was getting up, getting my coffee. I would study till about 6, and I would book it to school for our first meeting at 6:30 or so. Go to school during lunchtime. I would knock out a Trailhead module, keep going to work. At the end of the night, I would come back, do another couple hours, call it a day. And it was a consistent grind for months in order to get that turnaround. You cannot snap the finger and get results. It takes motivation and action.